varnish time. Now I am with you in spirit in the art store, but I'm not always there in body. So what I like to do is go into the art store and imagine that we're together and what it would be like if I was standing there right next to you recommending products, because really that's what you need. You need a little Sherpa hand holding sometimes when you're looking at the matrix aisle of endless products of who knows what this stuff is. So one of those really difficult aisles is varnish. And the first question is, do I really have to varnish? Do I really have to? Yes, yes, you have to. And you know why you have to? Because acrylic paintings are slightly porous and they actually attract dust, dirt. And honestly, in most of our lives, we don't live in a museum where there's a nice little guard protecting the pretty things we love. We have sticky-fingered children. We have friends who came over and partied and made bad life decisions that can do things to our artwork. And we have furry pets that shake and go, poof, hair. I got a lot of that going on in my life. So I'm telling you, varnish is your friend, because varnish creates a protective layer, a shield between your hard work and the world. And believe you me, we know the world touches our stuff. In fact, probably nobody's respecting your stuff. So you got to respect it for them first. Varnish is the way to do that. Now, the first question in varnish is spray or not to spray? That is the question. Because you're going to be looking at this aisle, millions and millions of jars of gloss and semi-gloss and matte and spray and solvent-based and oil-based and acrylic-based. You know you need acrylic-based because what are we painting with? We're painting with acrylic paints. Oil painters, I love you. Another tutorial. This is not your tutorial. You guys lost me at my painting has to dry for 6 months before I can varnish it. That is a you thing. Acrylic painting. Here we are. All right. So spray or not to spray. What does that really mean? Okay. What they're really talking about is how bumpy and textury is your painting. Now, most of the paintings that we do here are pretty smooth. But I'm going to show an example of one of my awesome mother's paintings. Okay, this is actually from one of her crazy waves and water classes that she does. And you're going to see here, I'm going to even dry. See, hear that? That's from all the texture. Can you see all that texture? If you try to use a liquid varnish on that, it would pull up. It would completely destroy the piece. This needs a spray varnish. Has to have it, okay? That's required, all right? Now, it can have a spray varnish that is not solvent-based, but it does have to have a spray varnish. But for the purposes of us, I'm going to throw this over here. Whoa! Disrespectful to the artwork. Don't tell my mother. But, you know, that very hardy artwork. It's a good art. It's good canvas. This is mostly us, isn't it? These are like kind of leveling paints. There's not a lot of texture here. So we could do a spray or a liquid varnish. Now our next question is, you're going to see some of these that are like solvent-based varnishes and varnishes that are just acrylic gels and mediums. What's that, right? Well, what that is, and I guess if you're this person, you're following along with me. Hi, if you're so awesome, you are the next Van Gogh. And in 500 years, we might need to take off a layer of varnish to restore the painting and put another one back on. You'd want to do a solvent-based varnish. Listen, that is a lot of steps, because one of the things that you have to do a solvent-based varnish is do an isolation coat. That's right. And an isolation coat is a coat of gel medium, and then you yell at the painting, you say, "You are there! Do not mix with the layer of varnish. You are condemned to be behind the sheer and shiny coat," okay? But we're probably not, I mean, probably the painting only has to last like 100 years. And acrylic paints and regular varnishes actually kind of have you covered for that. So isolation coat, for the purposes of varnishing, not our problem. So now we're down to the next series of choices. The next series of choices is, do I want gloss, semi-gloss, or matte? Well, let's talk about this. In the varnishes, and I've got some Liquitex here. See this Liquitex. Liquitex, this is gloss varnish. It's not gloss medium and varnish, different product. This is gloss varnish right here. And this is matte varnish. And I used this black owl on this crazy ochre background because, again, we're talking about paintings that you might be doing at home. And it was done with student paints, and I did have some of that lifting or moving that you might have. Now, if you're finding your paint is moving, my biggest recommendation would be like upgrade your paint, like right now, because the binders are not helping. If that's not possible, you could use a spray varnish. Seriously read the warning labels on those things, though. I can't even demo it in my studio. In the big book of acrylic facts from Liquitex, which I have. I love this one. I love all the big books, right? Their thing is you need to wear a dual filter respirator, NIOSH approved, with neoprene gloves. All right, they lost me there. I cannot be anywhere near something like that. I will get dizzy. I will throw up. I have a reaction. So we're not spraying varnish. Sometimes my husband sprays varnish for me when it has to be sprayed because I can't be around it. So here we see the gloss and here we see the matte. Are you noticing something here? This side, the colors are richened and deepened. It's got the nice protective barrier from the dust that we knew, because that's what varnish is for. It's to protect, it is to beautify, and it is to unify the reflection or the shininess of the paint, okay? So some people like to think that, oh, I really want a matte finish. Matte over dark colors will often translate as cloudy no matter how you apply it. Now you could do a couple layers of gloss and then put a matte over it and you'll get a slightly better effect. But really, honestly, my opinion, you can have a different opinion, you can let me know your opinion in the comments below, is stick to the gloss. Other thing, these are not shakers. Don't shake them. In all varnishing and finishing, air bubbles are not your friend. They're not your friend at all. Bubbles outside in summer are your friend. Bubbles in your varnish are evil and need to be destroyed. So these are these two. You can use them. They're nice professional products, but of course I have a Sherpa version of all of this that makes this not a headache and much easier. Because when you're varnishing, if you do it incorrectly, if you get dust in it, if you get dirt in it, if you're not paying attention, it can really cloud up on you. It is a type A personality activity, seriously. But there is a product that I love, Gloss Medium and Varnish. Oh, and guess what? It does a whole bunch of stuff. Because it's a medium, you can add this to your paint to do glazes and gradated glazes. You can add this to your paint to extend it, to thin it. You can add this to your paint for all kinds of effects. It's fantastic for multimedia projects, right? Like when you're doing like the art journaling like we're going to start talking about. This is fantastic, but it's also and varnish. How good of a varnish is it? It's awesome. I use it all the time. This is the varnish I have literally been using since I was a child. Like since, I don't even know, probably Liquitex could tell you when they came out with it. And they would if you write them a question, but it takes them 10 days to respond. I'm learning that as I'm asking questions. They can be kind of slow on the response time since I was a kid. Haven't died yet from it, okay? So it doesn't give me a headache. I don't have to wear a crazy respirator on my face, and it's easy to apply. Tips for applying varnish. Listen, I don't thin my varnish with water. You can. The more you thin it, the more likely it is to break down, but it can be easier to brush. The other thing is synthetic brush. Now, a lot of how-to videos will tell you to have a dedicated synthetic brush, and if that's your will, then do it. Clean is really what we're talking about. A lot of the recommendations online will suggest to you that you should be in a clean room that's dust-free. if I had a clean room, I'd lock myself in it. There is no clean room in my life. Is there a clean room in your life? Okay, so that's not practical. So basically, just try not to do this near your dog when they're shaking off their shedding fur, or near, you know, your cats having them run all over it, and maybe until the stuff is dry, no kids in the room. So I'm going to go, I have right here a leftover holiday paper plate, and I've got some varnish in it. And look, even pouring it out, I got some air bubbles because these little things are everywhere. And I'm going to load up my brush with a little bit of this Gloss Medium and Varnish by Liquitex. And I am going to just simply create a layer of coats across. Listen, there are temptations in varnish. Terrible, evil temptations, right? Now you want good lighting to sort of see where you've been so you don't go over the old areas, because where varnish will turn on you, where it will just turn on you and ruin your life, is going over places that you've been before. You must never go back. Never go back. And then you're like, but what if I miss a spot? Let it dry, get it on the second coat. Varnish is not a thick process. It is 2 to 3 thin coats with at least 3 hours of drying time between them. But hey, if you've got the time to spare, go ahead and let it dry a day. Let it do it. Everybody's varnish, right? Everybody's varnish has a lot of instructions on the bottle, but remember, many of the big companies also have a YouTube channel, and they have a website with even more instruction and a helpline. Pom-poms are super dangerous for varnish. So we're going to get them out of the way, because that'll mess up my varnish for sure. Okay? Now what I'm looking for here, right, I got to be careful not to work into stuff that's drying. Gloss Medium and Varnish is the most forgiving of this, though. Pom-pom danger. Pom-pom danger. And I'm moving over here. Okay. Woo! I love varnishing. It really finishes a piece, but it's going to do something magic for you. Anyways, so you can go on YouTube and you can go to their little paint company websites. That is super exciting. I can tell you my favorite is Golden, because literally it's paint drying. Like, it's a lot of videos of paint drying on time lapse. Not people, just paint drying. But it's highly informative. And if you really need to know the science and the molecular truth of all paint everywhere, and often professional artists really do, or if you're just minded that way, they will geek out on you on another level. You know, Liquitex tries to get in there and give you a little more, you know, life. Dick Blick, all those guys try to get a little more YouTube going, you know. So it's whatever is your style. All I'm saying is, the more technical information you need, it's out there, and the more you know, the better it will be. But this for the purposes of us, you and me, this is what we like, because this is easy, okay? Because, yes, and you can comment below and talk about, well, if I'm hanging in a gallery, I'll have to use this type of varnish because that's what's expected for highly professional painting. And let me tell you, if I'm charging somebody like $6 a square inch, I'm going to bring it. But if this is for my life and this is for my home, then the quality of life I have, that's the most important thing. And I don't want to be sitting over the varnish going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, don't cloud. Oh my God, please, please don't be destroyed. I don't want to have that experience. And that is an experience you can have, you know, with other products. Oh, see, I went over an old thing. You're not supposed to go over an old thing. But again, because this is Liquitex Gloss Medium and Varnish, I don't know. Actually, I didn't see any of this in a basic line. They have a basic gesso, but frankly, let's not save money here. Let's just buy the real thing. This I know. They haven't sent me anything. Frankly, whenever I tell a paint company I have a show on YouTube, they have a panic attack. So they're definitely not sending me anything. I'm just saying, from me, my open heart to you, love this. use this. Now the matte version of this, it will also have that sort of clouding, dulling issue, but it's very nice if you're trying to take sheen out of a paint. Whole nother tip and trick video. Final thing, the paint companies, especially the high-end acrylic paint companies, will tell you about how the UV protectants in the varnish will protect your painting on the surface of Mars. And that they've got paint chips spread across the country, just baking in the sun, and your painting could be outside. Now, for muralists, that is a very important bit of information. But for us, for you and me, for what we're doing, don't hang your artwork outside. That's my general Sherpa advice. It doesn't belong on the fence. I have a really good friend, Homer Allen. He's an artist. He makes artwork for outside. If you want some of that, that would be where you would get it. The rest of this artwork is for in the house. Now, they have all kinds of crazy tests, none of which I can determine would ever happen in our lives. So it occurred to me, there's only one real test for varnish in the universe, and that is the sticky finger test. Sticky finger test is the only real test. So I'm going to get my product testers, my little champions of art, and I'm going to put Mr. Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night here, which I'm teaching you later. Oh no, I'm going to put this to the test. The ultimate test of art, and the only one that really matters in real people's lives. Are you ready for it? It's awesome. Let me go get my kids. All right, I'm back with, you haven't met her, you've heard about her, it's Miss Linda Bella. Linda Bella, wave hi with your sticky fingers. Hi.
Hi.
What are those? Are those sticky fingers?
Yes.
Those are sticky fingers. Have you seen these in your life? I have. This is something that could really happen to your art. Luna, will you please touch Mommy's painting with your peanut butter? Hand, touch it. Smear it on there. Smear it on there. Oh, more. Give it. Get it. Give it. Can you get it right in there? Oh, that's what we would see. All right. Hey, Mom, do you recognize that? Actually, some of you might have adult friends that do this. Now, Luna, can you say bye-bye to everybody?
Bye. Bye.
Should they paint?
Yes.
Paint a lot?
Yes.
Okay. Peanut butter on my painting. Peanut butter on my painting. All right. Yeah, that can happen. That can happen. But if you've, say, varnished your painting, if you have, say, taken this step, allowed it to dry for 2 or 3 days, if you've waited your time between coats and done a couple coats, then you can do this. Oh, you see me doing it, and you're shocked, right? You're just shocked at home. It's true. In 500 years, they won't be able to remove this coat of varnish, but frankly, there's enough UV filters in there to last that long anyways. And if there isn't, probably nobody's going to be that concerned about it. But what you're concerned about, peanut butter hands, this is going to handle. So next step, after you finish your fabulous paintings with me, what are we going to do? We're going to hit it with a coat of Gloss Medium and Varnish, because that's awesome. Everything you need to know about varnish, varnish, varnish. Everything you need to know about varnish, varnish, varnish. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you want to know. Tell me what you want to see more of. Yes, I know tutorials. Tell me what you want in the comments. Click like, comment, subscribe. Become a member of the hARTist community, because you know what? Art changes people, and people change the world, and we can do literally anything. All right, you have a creative good week, and I'm going to see you for another tip and trick, lesson tutorial, or just general talk soon. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye.